What the heck is this? No way. How come a shut-in like yourself has all of these high-end cosmetics? It's like trying to get a pig to wear a pearl necklace or something, right? From now on, I'm going to be using all of this high-end stuff for you. A shut-in loser like yourself is better off just using that cheap lotion like crap that you can get at the dollar store. Or better yet, don't even bother using anything at all because you're too ugly for it to cover up anyway. I think as a shut-in, though, your looks don't matter to you anyway, do they? Hey, Aisha, what are you going on about? Calling me a shut-in and making comments about how I'm like some kind of pig? As far as I'm aware, I'm free to use whatever kind of cosmetics I want, no matter what I look like. But how can a neat like you use all of these really high-end brands when you barely even go outside your house? I think I'm going to take all of these for myself now since they'll be better utilized by me. Wait a second, how do you even know about the kind of cosmetics I've been using? You're talking about them like you're in my house right now looking at them. Uh-oh, so you finally realized that now. I've actually been in your place all day today, and from today onwards, this place is going to be our home. What? What do you mean by my house becoming our home now? This place that you've been living in, Haiti, is going to be given to us now. So I'm going to go ahead and start packing up all your things for you so that you can screw off to someplace else. And once you've found a place to move into, let me know so that I can be the generous and kind girl that I am and help you. Wait. What are you actually talking about right now? You think I'm just going to let you and my brother have that place? You have no right deciding something like that all on your own, Aisha. Yeah, sure I don't. This must be such a tough time for a shut-in like you. Having to get kicked out of your parents' place where you've been living rent-free for years now. But I find that this might be just the perfect opportunity for you actually, since you'll finally be forced to find a job. I'm telling you right now that it isn't cool for a woman your age to still be some kind of unemployed freak. Excuse me? Oh, and by the way, your brother and I only brought over a few cardboard boxes, so anything that doesn't fit is being tossed. Bye-bye now. Hey, Mason, what the hell is going on right now? Aisha just told me that you both are going to be taking the place from me and living there from now on.
Hey, Haiti, I know that you're a neat and all, but this gaming PC you have in your room is freaking amazing! I've been playing Apex on it all day, and the gameplay is so smooth and the thing never crashes on me. I've been able to take out so many enemies today, it's not even funny!
Are you serious right now? Who do you think you are going into my place with Aisha like that and using all my stuff? You're literally invading my home!
Invading? Why would you use a harsh word like that? This is Mom and Dad's house, not yours, which means I can come and go from here whenever I please. And another thing, how dare you keep all of this away from me? I had no idea that you were the one to inherit all of this stuff.
I thought that you and I split Dad's things fairly between you and I after he passed away. Which means you knew all the things I was getting and I knew all the things you were getting.
Then what is all this from? I never remembered you getting this gorgeous house in the inheritance. I'm guessing you hid all of this from me so that I'd never become aware, right? How dare you do that to your own brother?
I never tried hiding it from you.
I thought in the agreement that we'd be selling all of Dad's things when he passed away, and then we'd split all the money from him in half. But it looks to me like you hid this house from me and took it all for yourself. I had no idea that my own little sister could be so damn sneaky.
Hold on a second. Calm down there, Mason. I think you're having a huge misunderstanding of what that place is.
What misunderstanding are you talking about? You've been the one getting to live a luxurious life all by yourself in this house. What's so hard to understand about that? How come you get to live this lavish, neat lifestyle with Dad's house and his money while I'm still having to work and crap? I won't allow you to have all of this by yourself anymore.
First of all, I am not a neat. Second of all, I never hid anything from you after Dad died. Now, would you please listen to my side of the story so that you'll stop yelling? I'm on my way home right now, so we can talk about everything when I'm there, okay?
I don't want to hear any of your fake excuses, Haiti. I knew something like this was going on, and that's why I waited with Aisha for the rare moment that you'd be out of the house and swooped in. I knew that you'd be leaving for a bit to go overseas so that you could use up more of the money Dad left for you, but too bad because that trip to wherever the hell just cost you your secret house.
I see. So, you found out about how I'd be out of town for a few days and used that time to break in? And for the record, I wasn't overseas vacationing or anything like that. I was away on a very serious business trip.
What? There's no way a shut-in like yourself would ever be on a business trip. Now stop pretending like you have such an important job, or any for that matter. I know that you've been living off Dad's money this whole time, and that's why it's my turn to live that way.
What?
You and all the other unemployed losers in this world. If Dad were to find out about what you've been doing, he'd be crying his eyes out up in heaven. He would have to hear about how his daughter went and deceived his son and took his house from him as well as the money. I bet if he were still around, he'd have kicked you out of this place a long time ago. But since he's not here anymore, I'll do the job instead. You'd better start looking for a new place to go on your way home, because this place is mine now.
Aisha, is my brother around you right now? I have been calling him repeatedly, but he hasn't been answering any more of my calls. I really need to talk with him to clear up this misunderstanding he has about my dad's house and the other things, so could you please tell him to answer his phone? Of course he's not going to answer his phone to you. Listening to whatever excuses a shut-in like yourself can make up is a waste of time. So how about instead of claiming that this is all a big misunderstanding, you begin to apologize to him? You went and secretly took his home from your dad after he passed away, even though Mason is your older brother and deserves to have it. Don't you find that a little unacceptable? I did not secretly get that house after my dad died, all right? Can you at least please listen to the story behind all of what happened? No thanks. Now, from what I've seen, a lot of the things inside this house are yours, so can I please take all the really fancy things? What? I didn't even notice this before, but all of your clothing is even brand apparel. I think I can wear any of what fits me, and then the rest of it I can sell for some good money. Wait, you're wanting my clothing now, too? Actually, I've already sold some of the clothes I didn't like on Mercari. And those dishes you had in the kitchen cupboard that looked really tacky, sold all of them, too, for a great price. Are you kidding me? You've already been putting some of my things up for sale? Well, at first I was just going to throw all the rest of your things out that didn't fit in those boxes. But when I started looking at all your things here, they all come from some really high-end brands. So I've started to list a lot of the things I don't want or need, and they've been selling little by little. This is insane, Aisha. Not only have you taken over my house, but now you've started to either take or sell all of my things without even asking? Oh, come on. All of the things in this house were bought with your dad's money, right? It's not like all of this stuff cost you anything, so who actually cares if I sell it all? I told you already that's not how I got all those things. All those cosmetics, that clothing, and those dishes were bought with my own money. And as for the house, it was never my dad's house. I bought it myself, and it's always been mine. Oh geez, stop lying already. Money acquired from a deceased parent doesn't make it your hard-earned money or anything. And both Mason and I know you lied about everything in order to get all of this from your dad. That's why now you're starting to freak out because this little old paradise is going to be taken away from you. I'm not freaking out. I'm just pissed that neither of you will listen to me right now. And hold on a second, didn't my brother get half of all the money my dad had? If you've both been wanting a house like that one so badly, then why not just buy your own place? There's no reason for you guys to be stealing mine now. Shut up already. When it comes to the family home, once the parents have both died, it goes to the oldest child. Why should Mason have to let his younger sister get the house he's entitled to? From now on, this house and everything inside it belongs to us. I see. I guess it's pointless for me to try and say anything more to you. That's right, because this house was always meant for Mason and not some jobless loser like you. Do you understand that? We are living in this house starting today, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, I get it. And don't you ever show your face around the two of us again. Who would ever want to go around you guys or that house again? You guys have already tainted all my things and sold some of my stuff, so I don't care about it anymore. I'm going to end my rental agreement on the place and find myself an even more beautiful home to rent. What? Rental agreement? I told you this already, right? I never inherited that house from my dad after he passed away. I've had it from the very moment it was built and being rented out. And that's why I never could understand why both you and my brother were saying it was my parents' house. So, you've been renting this place? What do you mean by that? Isn't this supposed to be your family's home? The place your late dad purchased for you guys a while back, because that's what I was told by Mason. I heard that you guys used to have one house, but that your dad went and sold it last minute to come and live in this one with you and your brother. I see. So my brother has had the wrong idea about what all happened this whole entire time. No wonder he was having such a hard time believing me when I said the place has always been mine. So this was a misunderstanding on his part? What else has he misunderstood? Everything, I think. Sure, my dad used to own a house, and that's where we were all growing up in for a long time. But it was old and needed a lot of work done to it that he didn't want to pay for. So I suggested to him that it would be best if he sold the place and moved into an apartment. Around that time, my dad was getting ill and needed to visit the hospital more and more anyway. So being closer to the hospital in an apartment would be a lot better for him rather than having to drive an hour from home almost every day. The only issue was my dad had the money to get an apartment, but he never had the time to go out and look for one. So I took it upon myself to go looking, and I found that place and started renting it for him as a surprise. Why would you rent it for him if he had the money, though? Why not just find a place for him and use his money to rent it? Because I've made this place an office for my business, so it can all be written off during tax season. Renting the place myself for him was a major benefit to me, so I was never going to let him do it with his own money. And besides, I made sure that my dad saved all of his money for things like medical costs and such for himself. Wait, this is your office? But you don't have a job. You're just a NEET. No, I'm not. I work in the music industry and I run my business from my own home. And if you're wondering how I was able to afford to rent a place like that, it's because I'm making close to $200,000 a year with this job. Which is why I could afford that place and all of those brand goods. $200,000 a year? The only thing with my job is that it's not entirely all done from home, and that means I have to travel a lot, especially overseas on business trips like the one I was just on. And, well, this one was a serious trip, and I was really looking forward to coming home to relax. However, now my house is occupied by 2 home invaders. I'm going to have to start looking for a new place right now, and I have to make sure the next place is just as big so it can serve as my office and home. Wait a second. I'm having a really hard time keeping up with everything you're saying. You run your own business? And that earns you close to $200,000 a year? And this apartment wasn't inherited from your dad, but is a rental you've been renting all along? That's right. And the rent for a place like that is $5,000 a month. I could have gone with a cheaper place, but my dad happened to like living on the fancy side a bit more than I expected him to. So I made sure when looking for a place to only look at the nicest apartments near the hospital. $5,000 a month? That's way too expensive. The apartment Mason and I had was only $900 a month. Well, luckily for the both of you, you just went from paying $900 a month to having to pay $5,000 a month with your new home. I hope you can both enjoy it while you can. Enjoy it? We can't even afford this place. Mason and I both thought this place was already owned by your dad and that we wouldn't have to pay to live here. Well, thankfully, you still have all that money from my dad, so you should be just fine living there from now on, right? Anyway, I have to go now. I'm almost back to the US and need to look for places to live right now. Bye-bye.
Hey, Haiti? You're gonna be paying the rent on this apartment for us. If you're making $200,000 a year, then you can pay for this place no problem, right?
Huh? If you and your wife want to live there, then you and your wife need to pay. No way I'm still paying the rent there after being thrown out by the both of you. You still have that money from Dad, so there should be no issues, right?
You think I still actually have all that money? I had to use all that money from Dad paying off all my debt, so it's gone now.
Really? What kind of debt were you in exactly?
After getting all that money from Dad's inheritance, I went and started to invest it all in the stock market and things like that. But I had no clue what I was doing and was always losing all the money I put in. And somewhere in that mix, I started to bet on things like horse racing.
You really used all of that money from Dad on those things?
Yeah, that's right. I thought that by gambling a little on something besides the stock market, I'd be able to make back all that money and more. But instead, I lost everything. And that wasn't all. It was Dad's money I got, so I decided to live fancy for a little while with it. I just thought that I'd only spend what I had received, but before I knew it, I was in debt.
You're lying, right? I get that we split all his money in half, but that was still a lot of money you received. At least close to $100,000 like me, right?
And that is why I need you to pay this rent now. And if you really want to, you can keep calling this place your office so that you get something out of it too. Then we can all benefit from you paying for this place still, right?
I'm not paying for that place anymore, so you two figure out what the hell you're going to do. Whatever is left of my things will be picked up soon by some hired help. And once I have my things, I am never going to bother with either one of you or that apartment ever again. You're so mean, Haiti. I was wondering what this letter was that you sent to us, and it turned out to be you asking for our money. What the hell is this for? That is me asking for whatever money you earned after selling most of my things. You went and sold all my possessions online without my permission, didn't you? Which means you're going to have to pay me back for all of them now. But you asking for that money now is a problem. I just assumed you bought all that stuff with your inheritance. When I was selling it all, I didn't think it was actually yours. That kind of excuse isn't going to work here. I want you to pay me every cent of that amount, please. You're an asshole, Haiti. I am your older brother's wife of all people, and not just an in-law, but your sister-in-law. Yet you want to take my money now? I'm apologizing to you, so you should be forgiving me, right? I haven't heard you say sorry yet. And even if you were saying sorry, this problem is too big to be solved that way. Stop being so freaking cold to me. It's not our fault we misunderstood things. So just forget about what all happened and let's get along with one another again. Excuse me? Oh, that's right. If you wouldn't mind, I'd love to start helping you with your business. How does that sound? I'm sure it's pretty tough having to work a job like that all on your own, right? So I can start helping you out, and instead of having to pay me anything, you can just pay the rent on this place for us. What? Stop talking out of your ass over there. You're not worth paying $5,000 to employ. But I happen to listen to a lot of music, so I know a thing or two about it. I also happen to love karaoke. But when it comes to using a computer, I'm not too good at that, and I can't read music either. Who the hell would want to hire you then? All you keep doing is talking like an insane person, and you really need to shut it. If you both can't afford that rent, then leave the apartment at once. Why not just go back to that apartment you were paying $900 a month for? I understand why you might think we can do that, but we can't. We already had a little freak out and tried going back to that place, but our landlord was pissed at us. He told us that this was our second time falling behind on payments and that we needed to get all our things and move out immediately. Your second time? So that means you've already made late payments before on your old place? Had we been able to actually pay for that place on time, we wouldn't be in all this debt now, right? Wow. But there's no way we can pay him to live there now. Both myself and Mason quit our jobs before coming out here, so we aren't making any money anymore. What? Why did you both just quit your jobs? Because we both thought we could take this place over and never have to pay anything to live in it. And when it came to things like food and paying the bills for water and electricity, we'd get part-time jobs doing something easy. So that's why we both told our bosses we quit. You both are very optimistic, aren't you? So anyway, would you be able to help the both of us out? You both no longer have any parents around, so it's only you and Mason left, right? And that means no way would you be willing to abandon us, right? Well, I'm going to. I don't have any siblings anymore. I plan to move on from this and live life as a forever single woman who doesn't need a family. What? So you're not going to help us out then? You're not going to help us pay this rent? You think I want to help two strangers? I don't want anything to do with you both anymore. Which means from now on, I'm deleting both yours and Mason's contact info and blocking you guys. What did you say? If I don't do this now, I'm going to keep losing money having to waste time listening to you. Just like what's happening right now. I'm not wasting any of your time or money, though. I'm just asking for you to help us out a little here. You're making it sound like we're not worth your time right now, Haiti. Just because you're making more money than the both of us combined doesn't mean you can talk about us that way. But hasn't it been the both of you talking about me in such a poor way this whole time? You both have seemed to think that just because Mason is my older brother and you're his wife, you can do whatever you want to me. The only real difference is that he was born a few years earlier than me. And as for you, all you did was ride his dick well enough for him to want to marry you because there's nothing else about you worth marrying. Yet you both think that you have the right to talk to me like I'm some kind of neat and stealing all my dad's money and things. What? Who do you think you are talking to me like that? I think I'm a successful business owner talking to a spoiled little brat. But I can see that you don't want to listen to me anymore, and that's why I'm going to block you now. Which means you no longer have to bother with texting me anymore. What? Goodbye. I hope you both can find yourself some jobs or a place to live that you can afford really soon. After that, I heard that both my older brother and his wife had to leave that place they took from me and go back to their old apartment they were asked to leave from. But of course, like the landlord already told them, they were not welcomed back and were told to go live on the streets for all he cared. And just like that, the both of them were homeless and without any jobs, otherwise called neats. I've heard that those two eventually found work at a convenience store part-time and have moved into a very cheap and small apartment. Despite that, I've also heard the debt my brother hasn't been getting taken care of any and is still on the rise. I guess neither of them have remembered that they need to pay all of that off, but who am I to care how they live their lives? As for myself and what I've been up to, I made the choice to move into a smaller apartment out on the coast. Here, I can be close to a beach where I can spend my free time relaxing, and I'm closer to the international airport, making it way easier for me to leave the country to go and see my clientele. I've also made sure not to tell anyone besides only my closest friends my new address, in an attempt to make sure neither Mason or Aisha can ever find out where I moved to.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Tina, are you there? Don't you know you're about to be scammed with this wedding of yours? You have to go to the police right now. I'm serious. Wait a second. Rachel, what in the world are you talking about right now? I mean that I heard the big news while I was at the office today. I mean, about you finally getting married, that is. Also, wow, I can't believe that you're not married until right now. What are you, like 35 years old already? Man, you're an old maid. Do you know that? Excuse me? I don't see what this has to do with anything at all. Thank you very much. Look, this isn't even what I wanted to talk to you about, really. But I know that you're happy for your wedding. It's just, you need to know that you're being scammed right now. I mean it. I mean, do you really think that anyone in this world would actually marry someone like you? You need to stop all this nonsense and realize that no man would ever want to marry you, and that this has got to be a scam. Well, thank you so much for wanting to look out for me, Rachel. But I know for a fact this isn't a scam. And there's nothing wrong with me getting married at the age that I am. You know, every single person who has ever been scammed doesn't believe it's happening until it's too late. I'm just trying to warn you now, so that you don't make mistakes in the future. After all, I would hate for you to be made a fool of later. And just what is that supposed to mean? Oh, come on! You know that there's all kinds of stories of poor, old women always getting into these scam marriages. But I guess that just tells you something about lonely middle-aged women. All I'm saying is that you shouldn't rush into these kinds of things. I'll have you know that I'm not rushing into anything at all. I've thought about what I'm doing, and we're already legally married on paper. In fact, we literally share a home together. So, in what way am I getting scammed right now? Wait a second. You mean that you two already had your legal marriage? You signed all the paperwork and everything? That's right. We did all of that sometime last week. We went to the courthouse and had a mini ceremony. It was really very nice. So, I really don't see how I'm being scammed at all. Please tell me that you're lying to me right now. I mean, did you seriously get married? At your age? Well, I guess there really are a bunch of freaks out there who might be into that. But let me guess. You probably ended up with some nasty 70-year-old man or something like that, right? Are you being serious right now? Did you really just ask me that? Well, I'm just saying that you're already 35 years old, aren't you? It's not like any handsome young man would want to be with someone like you. Actually, if you really must know, my husband is 7 years younger. So now you know that. And I'll let you know that he makes me very happy and is very happy to be with me. And you really don't know what you're talking about. Oh, come on, give me a break. Please tell me that at least that one was a joke. Are you telling me that you're really tricked some poor young man into marrying you? I can't believe this. How could you do that to someone who has their whole life ahead of them? You really are just so selfish, do you know that? Well, at least I'm not trying to talk bad at a marriage that I have no clue about. But anyways, if you could keep out of my private life, I would really appreciate it, you know? I mean, I should be clear with you that you're nothing but a coworker to me. So you really shouldn't be saying any of this to me in the first place. Wait, just 1 second. Can you at least tell me what day it is that you're going to be getting married? I mean, you are still having a ceremony, aren't you? Please. I just want to know what day it is that you're going to be having your wedding with your husband. If you really do want to know, we're going to be having our wedding at the end of next month. We're both very busy with work right now and won't have time until then. But, just why would you want to know about that anyway? Oh, I see. So you're going to be getting married at the end of next month, is that right? Great! Then I'll be sure to have my wedding around the same exact time as yours. And I'll be sure to invite everyone from work so that they'll all come to my wedding instead. Oh, I see what you're trying to do here. Well, I was actually going to be giving everyone invitations to my wedding tomorrow. Oh, that really is just so sad. Why would you even try to expose them to that? I mean, why force them to watch some sad old lady walk down the aisle? They'll all be watching you with pity, you know? But don't worry. That's why I'll have my wedding around then, so they can all forget about your crappy one. And then they can enjoy going to a wedding with an actually beautiful bride and not some old hag like you. I have to say, Rachel, I didn't know that you were even planning on getting married before this. Well, actually, I was just talking to my boyfriend and we agreed that we'd get married next month. He told me that he would do it whenever I asked him to. That's how much my boyfriend loves me. He would do anything for me, and all I need to do is ask. So I'm going to be having my wedding on the exact same day as yours. Oh, really? Well, thank you for telling me all of that, I guess. Anyways, I've got to go now. I have lots of calls to make and reservations to arrange. So you just make sure everyone's in high spirits when it's finally time for my wedding, okay?
Tina, are you there? I'm so sorry for not answering your calls earlier. I was wrapped up with work and I wasn't looking at my phone at all.
Well, I just needed to talk to you a bit about the wedding is all. I was wondering how you felt about maybe choosing a new day to do it on.
Wait, what? You want to change the day of our wedding? But we've already booked everything for the day that we choose. I don't understand. We already printed out all the invitations with the original day on them. We can't just change things like this.
Yeah, I suppose you're right about that. It would be too much to try and change the day at this point, right?
I think it would, but what would make you even ask that in the first place? I mean, is there some kind of trouble at work that's popped up on the day we're supposed to be getting married?
Well, it is something, or rather someone at work, but it's nothing about actual work itself. I just have this really annoying coworker who said she's planning on having her wedding on the same exact day as ours.
Hold on a second. You have a coworker wanting to get married on the day that we're going to have ours?
Yeah. She wants to prove that nobody wants to go to a wedding for an old woman like me. So, to prove that, she's going to have her wedding on the same day and invite everyone from the office to hers. I guess she wants to show that she can throw a better wedding than I can.
But I mean, that's so cruel to try to ruin someone's special day for a reason that petty. And who cares at what age you're getting married at?
Well, I guess this coworker has a serious problem with me for some reason. I just really don't get it, to be honest with you. But I guess she just wants to have her fun making fun of me for being older than her at my wedding. She even told me that she's convinced our whole marriage was just a scam.
Wait, what? Did she really say that? What is this girl's problem? Why would she even say something like that? I assume that this girl's beneath you in the company, right? Just who does she think she is, doing all this?
I think she's the kind of girl who thinks that she can get away with anything she wants because she's pretty. She is always messing around at work and driving people crazy. And I guess she has a chip on her shoulder about her age. That's probably why she's so eager to try and prove that she can outperform me.
But that's crazy. You've been at the company for so long and you're such a hard worker. She doesn't really think she can just show you up like that, does she? I mean, doesn't she know that you've been Employee of the Year for basically the last 5 years?
I think that might be a part of why she hates me so much. And I think that this little stunt with our wedding just proves it. But I don't know. It just feels like she's always trying to bring me down, you know?
Well, I don't think that we should have to change the date of our wedding just to appease a little brat. And I know that the people from our office will come to our wedding.
But she's right, isn't she? I mean, I am just another old lady getting married to a younger guy. I don't know. Do you really think that anyone would want to go to a wedding like that? I really just can't see why anyone would want to see someone like me get married.
Stop all of that talk. Tina, you are my beautiful fiancé, and you're going to look even more stunning on the day of our wedding. Come on. Just think about how much we've been looking forward to this. You can't just let some random woman from work bring you down like this. I promise that we've already had people from your office saying that they will definitely be going there. So I don't think you have anything to worry about in terms of your coworkers showing up. We're going to be getting on that day we set, and that's it. I mean, did you even know that your boss called and left a long message about how excited and happy he was for the both of us? He also went on about how much you do for the company. I think that you have more people in your corner at work than you think, but I'm sorry that it didn't feel that way for you.
Wait a second. Did my boss really say all of those things? I had no idea.
Like I said, I think that you're more loved than you think over there, and we've got plenty of other similar messages from your other coworkers. A lot of them really look up to you and are really thankful that you're the one that showed them the ropes around there. So I don't think you have anything to worry about when it comes to people from work coming to our wedding. And besides, you know that no matter what, I'll do all that I can to make you happy. I wouldn't even mind quitting my job so that you can just concentrate on yours.
I don't know what to say to all of this. I guess I didn't even realize.
And that's why I'm here, to let you know that there are a lot of people out there who really love you and will be at our wedding.
I guess you're right. Now that I think about it, there was a lot of excitement when I made the announcement at work. I was afraid that nobody would want to go after what Rachel was saying, though.
Yeah, I mean, she sounds like a real pain in the neck to deal with. If I had to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever heard of someone doing what she's doing.
She actually showed up at our office not long after you left your position here. So I guess it's no wonder why you hadn't heard of her before now.
Well, either way, I think that you should just forget all about her and don't let her little stunt make us less excited for our big day.
You're right. Thank you so much for talking to me about this. I really can't wait to marry you, Cameron. We're so close to having everything ready. I know that we can do this. So tell me, Tina, how does it feel today, huh? How does it feel knowing that nobody is going to show up to your lame wedding? I bet that you've been bawling your eyes out all day, isn't that right? Oh, hey Rachel. Sorry, what are you talking about right now? I just wanted to know how it felt to have your entire wedding venue completely empty. After all, I know that not a single person from the office would have shown up there, right? I doubt that anyone showed up to your wedding at all, actually. So tell me, do you finally get that you've lost? Do you finally understand that nobody wants to see an old hag like you get married? Actually, that's kind of the same question I was wanting to ask you. How do you feel right now? Because everyone from work is already here. They've all arrived at the wedding. What are you talking about? You must mean that they're all coming to my wedding so that they can watch me get married. After all, I picked out such an amazing dress that I just know I'm going to get so many compliments at work from it. And I've rented an extra large venue to hold everyone who's going to show up here. You really think that many people are going to be showing up to your wedding? I mean, certainly more people are going to be showing up at my wedding than your wedding. And just to think, all the hard work you put in is going to nothing. You even handed out your sad little invitations to everyone at the work. But, like I said, nobody wants to go to a wedding just to watch an old hag like you get married. I'm sorry, but everyone here is just laughing so hard at you right now. What are you talking about? What's that supposed to mean? I mean that we just finished the ceremony and now we're all stepping out to get pictures taken. But everyone from work is here with me right now, like I said. And I'm telling them about the things that you're saying to me, and we're all just laughing right now. I don't understand. What do you mean the people from work are all there, and they're laughing at me right now? That doesn't make any sense. Well, everyone from work but you is here at my wedding right now. So you don't have to apologize for anything. Because after all, you didn't really do anything to stop or hurt my wedding at all. Wait a second! How? I don't understand! Why is everyone at your wedding today? Don't they know that I'm getting married as well? I think that they do. And that's why they all chose to come to my wedding instead of yours. So, anyways, what were you saying about wanting to know how it felt to not have anyone at your wedding? Because you were so full of yourself asking me that earlier, but now it seems like you've stopped being so high and mighty. But how about it? Do you want to tell me how you feel right now? I don't! This doesn't make any sense at all! How could this be happening? I don't know what you mean. I'm only asking what you asked me. I mean, why aren't they all here at my wedding? Why are they at yours? Don't they know you're just an old hag? Yeah, nobody at the office really feels that way about me at all. It took me a while to figure it out, but everyone is actually just so annoyed with how you act all the time. But now that it's all clear to me, I can see why nobody would choose to go to your wedding over mine. But this can't be happening! They were all supposed to be here to see me get married, not you! How could they all do this to me? Don't they know that I'm so much cuter and prettier and better than you? Hey, sorry you're having this little breakdown, but I actually have to get back to enjoying my wedding with everyone here. Oh, shut up! You think this means anything? You think you're better than me because people showed up to your wedding? This doesn't mean anything at all. I'm still better than you. Everyone at work knows this. You won't get away with this, you know. Are you sure about that? Because it kind of seems like I already have. But anyways, enjoy your sad, empty wedding. Like I said, I have people that need attending to here. I guess I'll see you at work though. Have a nice weekend. After that, I heard through the grapevine that Rachel ended up canceling her whole wedding. She even broke up with her fiancé, although I didn't even know who he was to begin with. After we all did return to the office, basically everyone there knew exactly what kind of person that Rachel was, and the kind of things that she had said to me, and nobody wanted anything to do with her at all. Of course, since she ended up having to pay for all of her wedding plans, I heard that she basically just wasted a ton of money on this little scheme of hers. Now she can't even make eye contact with me and practically anyone in the office. She just sits at her desk working hard so she can pay off all the debt that she accrued planning her wedding.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Hey Lila, are you there? I just wanted to thank you again for letting me come to stay with you guys this weekend until I give birth. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all and getting to spend some time together. Wait, what? What do you mean you're staying with us until you give birth? What do you mean, what do I mean? You didn't know that I was pregnant, right? I thought that my brother told you that I was going to be coming over to stay with you all until I give birth. Hold on a second. I never remembered him mentioning anything like that to me. Are you sure? I'm pretty sure that Jacob told me that he told you all about that. Besides, I've already talked to my parents and everyone is already on board. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to be staying with you all for a while. But I really don't remember hearing anything about any of this. And you say that you're coming to stay with us from this weekend? I don't know. Maybe you just weren't listening? I know that my brother for sure told you about this. Then again, you're always talking about how busy you are with work, so maybe you just didn't remember even after he told you? I have been busy with work, it's true, but I feel like there's no way that I would forget hearing about something important like this. Well, I already told you that my brother explained all of this to you already. Do you really think he just wouldn't tell you something important like this? You just forgot. It has to be that, but don't worry, I promise to stay out of your way and not cause any trouble. Anyways, I'll see you this weekend. Hey Jacob, are you there? I was just wanting to talk to you about your sister coming to stay with us until she gives birth. Or rather, I had no idea any of this was happening until just now, and I'd like to know why.
Oh, Leila, yeah, I'm so sorry about that. I completely forgot to tell you that was happening. I really wanted to say something, but you're always running around and so busy that I guess the timing just didn't work out at all. But I guess the news made its way to you anyways. Who told you? Was it my parents?
No, actually, I had to hear it from Talia herself. She took it upon herself to thank me for letting her stay with us when I didn't even know what she was talking about. But it's a good thing she did, because otherwise I would have no clue that she was going to be staying with us this weekend.
Wait a second. This weekend? Oh man, I must have totally forgotten about that.
Jacob, come on. How could you forget about something this important? Why did you even tell Talia that she could come here in the first place when you hadn't discussed this with me at all? I should have known about all of this before you just told her to come stay with us.
But I already told you that I couldn't because you were too busy running around. Besides, this house belongs to my parents and look, I'm sorry, but I don't need your permission to do anything here. So there would have been no point waiting for you to give me permission, which is why I just told Talia that she said it was fine. Is that really so bad?
Wait, what? So you just spoke for me knowing that I didn't say anything like that at all?
Layla, you need to calm down right now. Remember that you're my wife living in my family's house. I'm my parents' eldest son, and that's why I have the run of the show. Got it? So, for the last time, I didn't need your permission.
Jacob, I'm not opposed to having Talia come over to do this. I'm just saying that I wish you would have talked to me about this first. No matter the circumstances, we're still roommates, and that's just bad manners.
Bad manners? Is that really the best you can come up with?
Well, let me ask you a question. Just who is supposed to be making all the preparations for Talia coming over? I mean, do we even have a room ready for her? If you're the oldest son and in charge, have you handled that already?
Wait a second. What do you mean that we don't have a room for Talia?
Don't you remember all the renovations that we did to the house last year? We had to completely change around the first floor to suit your parents, which included taking out Talia's room.
Oh, no! I totally forgot about that.
That's what I'm trying to say. How are we supposed to host Talia when we don't even have the most basic accommodations for her? There's no other room that she could stay in. She would obviously want her own private room that we can't give to her.
How did this happen? I can't believe that this slipped my mind. And it's not like I can just tell my pregnant sister to sleep on the couch or something like that.
That's right, she's already so huge. There's no way that will be comfortable for her. You're not going to make Talia sleep on the sofa. What if she were to roll off it and fall on the floor in her sleep?
Okay, I think I know what we can do. We'll just give her your room, and you can sleep in the kitchen when she comes. You used to be in Girl Scouts, right? It'll be just like one of your old campouts.
Excuse me? Did you seriously just tell your wife that she'll have to sleep on the kitchen floor? And just why should I have to do that? You invited your sister over like this. You should be the one sleeping on the floor.
You kidding me? I'm my family's eldest son. There's no way that I'm going to lower myself to do something like that. Besides, I have my own room, so why wouldn't I sleep there? The only option we have after that is for you to let Talia sleep in your room.
I don't know what to say.
Well then, sounds to me like the problem is solved. But let's just make sure we keep this a secret from my parents. And Talia, you just know they'd throw a big fit if they found out I was making my wife sleep on the kitchen floor. We can't even let them think that might be going on.
Just how are we supposed to do something like that, huh?
Well, for starters, you can never ever let them catch you sleeping there. So that means you'll have to wait until after everyone's gone to bed to go to sleep, and then wake up long before anyone gets up to move all your stuff.
Jacob, you can't be serious about that, right?
You're my wife. You're gonna do as I say. She only has a couple months of this pregnancy. It's not that big of a deal. What's the matter with you, you lazy woman? Do you really not care at all if something happens to my sister's baby?
What are you talking about? I have no idea where any of this is coming from.
I told you that my sister is coming back home because she needed support and to be waiting on for her pregnancy. But I just went to the doctor and got scolded, and it's all your fault.
Wait, you were the one who got scolded? I'm sorry, but I'm not sure that I understand what's going on. Why are you getting so mad at me about this?
Well, I took my sister to the doctor for a checkup today. Obviously, I just want to make sure that things are going smoothly and that there's nothing to worry about. Then I got called into the doctor's office and he told me that I was causing Talia a lot of stress.
Did the doctor really tell you that?
He did. He told me that the stress isn't having any serious effects on Talia yet, but that it's clear she's far more stressed than usual. The doctor is worried that at this rate it might actually have some effect on the pregnancy. He said it might even cause a premature birth. He told me that we all need to be making sure that Talia is getting the best care she can at home.
Oh my goodness, well, that really is quite scary, isn't it? But I still don't understand why you're upset at me over this. That doctor didn't say anything about me causing stress, did he?
He didn't, but I know that it's all your fault. Think about it, Talia is back in her familiar home with all her family around her. How could that situation possibly be stressing her out? The only new thing around is you, which means that you have got to be the reason that Talia's so stressed. Can you believe the doctor actually tried to blame me for that?
Is that really why you think this is my fault, Jacob?
It's because you're sleeping on the kitchen floor. Talia must have found out and now she feels bad, which is making her stressed. You need to quit messing with my sister's head.
Well, it's not like I wanted to sleep on the floor, and it's not like it's Talia's fault that I am. The only reason I'm sleeping on the floor is because of you.
Shut up. I do not want to hear any lame excuses from you. The only thing I want to hear from you is to admit what you've done.
But I didn't even do anything wrong. What do I even have to admit?
If you're wondering why I'm always getting so mad at you, it's because you act like this all the time. In fact, I realise that I've been letting you get away with this for too long. I have no other choice but to ask you to leave the house.
You want me to move out of the house?
I'm afraid that there's no other way to make sure that my sister's pregnancy goes smoothly. No, you do as I say. This is a direct order from the head of the house.
And just what am I supposed to do for a house until Talia gives birth? Besides, with how little your parents can move, I'm the one who does all of the work around the house. If you throw me out of the house, are you really going to take all of that over?
Of course I'm not going to do the housework. You crazy. You're going to sneak back in the middle of the night and do it all while everyone's asleep.
Is that supposed to be some kind of sick joke?
Just make sure that you stay quiet the whole time. We don't want anyone waking up and seeing you. Because I'll never ever forgive you if anything happens to my sister's precious baby. Got it?
The one stressing me out is you, Jacob.
What are you talking about now?
I mean that all of the stress is all your fault. You have been making Lila do so much for me, and now you're going to try and throw her out? I mean, do you think it's okay to treat her the way you've been doing? The source of all the stress I've been having is you.
Wait a second. Is this Talia? Or are you texting me from Lila's phone?
Well, you do remember that I asked you to drop me off at a cafe to talk with a friend, right? Well, that friend was Lila, and we've been talking all about the things that she didn't feel comfortable saying in the house. That, and she was really wanting to spend some time with me.
Hold on a second. You and Lila are friends?
That's right, we are. And she's been telling me all about the ridiculous request that you've been making of her. Just hearing that made my blood pressure go up. And I know that the doctor told me that I shouldn't be eating too many sweets, but I was just so upset that I had a whole cream puff in the cafe.
But I don't get it. What did I even do that was wrong? I was just trying to think of the health of your baby, Talia. I didn't want you to get any more stressed out.
I am telling you that the source of all of my stress has been you, Jacob. She told me all about how you were making her clean the house and sleep in the sleeping bag on the kitchen floor.
We didn't have a spare room for you, sis. What other choice did we have?
There were plenty of other choices. For instance, why weren't you sleeping on the floor? Why did you have to make your wife be the one to do that?
What do you mean? You know that Lila is the lowest ranking member in this household. That's why she had to be the one on the floor.
The lowest ranking member? What on earth are you even talking about? In fact, do you even remember who paid for the renovations to the house? If Lila wasn't around, that would have never happened. You've got some nerve calling her that.
What are you talking about?
I mean that Lila told me all about, even though you told me that you were paying for the construction, that it was actually Lila who dished out the money.
No, wait, there's been some kind of mistake here.
Not only that, but you know how busy she is with work, and yet you still make her take care of the house in the evening. And to top it all off, you were making her sleep on the floor.
But she's always busy with work. I told her that I wanted her to go out, find a job with more regular hours. But then she just tells me that we can't afford her switching jobs and that she can't.
And she shouldn't have to switch jobs just because you ask her to. Lila has been giving so much for this family, and you've been taking all the credit while dumping all the work on her.
But I didn't mean for it to happen like that.
Maybe you should go and find a better job. What do you think about that? After all, you haven't gotten a promotion or raise in years, and Lila tells me you only make half of what she does. You've got some nerve treating your wife the way you do, and you don't even nearly earn as much as her.
That isn't fair. That isn't my fault.
You know that she's thinking about divorcing you, right? And I think that she's more than justified in doing so.
What are you talking about? There's no way that Lila would ever leave me. She knows better than to disobey what her husband tells her to do.
I actually am thinking about divorcing you, and I'm already talking to lawyers about it. I took back my phone from Talia before she broke in rage. But anyways, to get back to the point, I'm planning on divorcing you, and I am not your subservient wife.
Lila, you can't be serious about this, right? I mean, we've been together for so long now. This is just a little span. You're not really going to leave me over this, are you?
I have no problem living with your parents or taking care of the house when the work is reasonable, but the largest problem I have is you. You are a horrible man who always takes advantage of me.
How can you say that?
In fact, I was thinking about leaving you before I even know that Talia was coming to stay with us. But I knew I would have to put it off for a while until we made sure that Talia and her child is safe. But now I have no problem telling you that I want you out of my life.
You can't be serious about this.
Not only that, but it's clear that just your presence is having a negative effect on your sister's pregnancy, and I think you should leave the house for a while. Start packing your bags because we don't want to see you when we get back home.
You're really going to try and kick me out of my own home?
It's all for the sake of your sister's baby, remember? Surely you're not going to argue with that.
Lila, what's going on here? I heard that Talia had given birth, so I came back home, but you're not here. Where'd you go?
I told you that we're getting divorced, Jacob. I packed all of my things and moved out before you came back.
Why would you do that?
I've already told you why, and I don't intend on repeating myself. And by the way, your parents told me that they were going to give me everything that intended to leave you in their will as a way of apologizing for your actions and to pay me back for paying for the reforms to the house.
What? No. This can't be happening.
It is, and your parents have my signed divorce papers, so if you could just sign on your part and send them off for me, that would be great.
This can't be happening. I was counting on that money. I really need it. You can't just take it from me.
After that, Jacob's parents wrote me a huge check to repay for the home renovations and told me how thankful they were for all that I'd done for them. Then they told Jacob that he wasn't welcome at their home anymore, and they kicked him out. I hear that he tried looking for a new job, but couldn't find one. One day, he came crawling back to me, begging for me to save him, even offering to sleep on the kitchen floor. Needless to say, I turned him down. On the other hand, Talia and I still spend time together, and I still visit Jacob's parents. We meet up regularly, catch up, and talk about our lives with each other. And I've even gotten to see Talia's child a couple of times, and she's just adorable. I do make it a condition when I meet with them, however, that I don't want to hear a single word about how Jacob is doing, and they respect it fully.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
I'm so sorry, Mrs. Director. It's my fault you had to spend your birthday dinner alone at the restaurant. That must have been awful. Excuse me? Who are you? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Jessica, the new nurse at Tom's hospital. Dr. Tom has been so kind to me.
Ah, you work at my husband's hospital. Yes, the birthday dinner interruption was disappointing, but emergencies are part of a doctor's job. You don't need to apologize, Jessica. Thank you for handling the emergency surgery.
Huh? What emergency surgery? There wasn't any emergency patient.
What? But Tom said he was rushing to the hospital. Wasn't there a car accident victim brought in? He said it was urgent and couldn't wait.
Oh, did he say that? Oh, Tom lying to his wife just to come running to me.
I'm confused. What exactly happened? What was Tom called in for?
Actually, I just called him by mistake.
Pardon?
The truth is, the patient brought in was just a drunk. He was found collapsed on the street, but then he suddenly tried to attack me. I got scared and called Tom.
I see.
Other nurses and the on-call doctor quickly helped, but I was so scared I couldn't focus on work. I just wanted to hear Tom's voice, so I called him. He's always been so supportive. It was just a reflex, I guess.
A reflex? I see. My husband seems to have been very supportive of you.
I'm really sorry, Mrs. Director. I had no idea you were enjoying a birthday dinner together. It must have been embarrassing to dine alone.
Don't worry about it. It's his duty as a doctor and hospital director to respond to emergencies. Now that the problem's solved, he'll be coming back, right? I'll wait a bit longer at the restaurant. Maybe I can still catch the last dessert course.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Director. The thing is, Tom is worried about me, so he's insisting on driving me home.
What?
I'm actually supposed to work the night shift, but Tom is so concerned. He said I shouldn't push myself and should go home today. He even offered to drive me himself.
I see. Well, I'm sorry for hogging your full-course meal all to myself. I guess I'll borrow your husband a bit longer. Tom, where on earth are you right now?
Huh? Working at the hospital, of course.
Then, where were you last night? You didn't come back to the restaurant and you didn't come home until morning.
The emergency surgery from yesterday evening dragged on until morning, so I just stayed at the hospital. Sorry, forgot to contact you in all the chaos.
Stop with the convenient lies. There was no emergency patient requiring surgery yesterday, was there? Just a drunk patient who tried to make a pass at the new nurse, and the kind-hearted director personally drove her home, right?
Huh? How do you know about that?
Jessica was kind enough to contact me. She said, sorry for ruining your birthday dinner, but I'll be borrowing your husband a bit longer. So let me ask again. Where did you spend the night? Don't tell me you stayed at her place.
If you already know that much, there's no point in hiding it. Yes, I stayed at her place, just as you guessed.
What?
But don't get the wrong idea. She was just insistent on thanking me, saying I should at least come in for tea, that's all.
How does having tea turn into an overnight stay? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, the tea she made was really good, you know? We got caught up in conversation, and before I knew it, it was morning.
Before you knew it? Don't be ridiculous. Staying overnight at another woman's house, even if she's an employee, is unacceptable. I don't want to think about unnecessary things, but you two are clearly acting strange.
Huh? What's strange about it? I was just worried about an employee and drove her home.
It's a woman's intuition. I've never seen you be this kind to an employee before. Besides, how does a new nurse even know my line contact?
You probably saw it in the staff directory. The directory has everyone's phone numbers, and you're listed as hospital staff too. If she wanted to, she could easily contact you via line.
True, I am in charge of the hospital's back office work as your wife. I thought I knew all the employment details, but I've never heard of a girl like her before.
Ah, well, that's...
Whenever we hired new staff, you always consulted me or at least reported it afterwards. But this time, there wasn't even a post report.
I just forgot. Things have been busy lately with all the holidays and events. Besides, Jessica was recommended by an acquaintance, and I couldn't refuse. I just quickly processed her hiring on my own.
Recommended by an acquaintance? What do you mean? Is she the daughter of someone you owe a favor to? Or a relative of an acquaintance? If so, it's all the more reason I should have been informed. Tell me specifically what kind of person she is.
Shut up! Just because you're my wife doesn't mean you need to know everything. Stop acting so high and mighty.
I'm not acting high and mighty. I'm just asking questions because I'm curious about various things.
What? Don't talk back to me, woman. I've always told you, haven't I? You're just supposed to silently work behind the scenes for me in my hospital. Don't interfere with my decisions.
I see. So that's how you've always seen me. Just someone to work silently behind the scenes. I understand now.
Good. As long as you understand. Now, stop asking unnecessary questions.
One last question, Tom. How long has this been going on with Jessica?
That's none of your business. Drop it.
It is my business when it affects our marriage and the hospital's reputation. But fine, I'll stop asking. I think I've heard enough.
Good. Let's not discuss this anymore.
All right. I'll be staying at my sister's place for a few days. I need some time to think.
What? Can't just leave. Who's going to handle the hospital's paperwork?
I'm sure Jessica can help you with that. After all, she's been so supportive of you lately.
Don't be ridiculous. She's just a nurse. She can't handle your work.
Then maybe you should have thought about that before you stayed the night at her place. Goodbye, Tom.
Mrs. Director, I'm so sorry. I've caused you trouble again. I really don't know how to apologize this time.
What is it this time? I don't have any dinner plans with my husband today, so I don't understand why you're apologizing.
Actually, I'm pregnant with Tom's child. So, you'll have to divorce Tom. I'm really sorry it's because of me.
What?
But I promise I'll work hard for your share too. I'll definitely make Tom and the child happy.
Wait a moment, please. If you're pregnant, I guess you two really were in that kind of relationship.
Oh, you already knew? And you made that annoying call on purpose? But to think it would go beyond an affair to pregnancy, and with an acquaintance's daughter, no less.
What? Acquaintance's daughter? Who are you talking about? I thought you and Tom met at university.
Huh? What are you talking about? Tom and I just happened to meet at university. He was a guest lecturer at our school, and I thought he was attractive, so I asked for his contact information.
What? So you started dating after that?
Job hunting was super easy thanks to Tom. I got an immediate job offer, and the work is so simple, it's been amazing.
It's not just a connection hire. It's disgusting to have your affair partner at your workplace.
Could you stop calling me his affair partner? I'm carrying his child and about to become his wife, not just some fling he's playing around with.
I see. So you've already decided everything. How convenient for you both.
I guess being a nurse really is the fastest route to marrying a doctor. I always decided that if I were to get married, it would be to a high-earning private practice doctor. That's why I went to nursing school. But I never thought my life would go this smoothly according to plan.
So you approached Tom for his money from the start? And he fell right into your trap.
It might have started as a money thing, but now I truly love him. I love Tom because he's sweet, kind, and rich. And unlike you, he loves me because I'm young and cute. We're in love with each other, unlike you and him.
Oh, is that so?
On the contrary, it's sad that you don't even have love between you and him. He often said he only thought of you as a cheap labor he could hire as a wife.
What?
You're not even seen as a woman anymore. It's pathetic. But I guess that makes it easier for you to give up. From now on, I'll be the director's wife, so take care. There's no place for you anymore.
I see. So that's how it is. You seem to have it all figured out, Jessica.
That's right. Congratulations. The old hat can disappear now. You're just a used-up old woman.
All right. I'll disappear without you telling me to. Well then, as the new director's wife, take good care of him and the hospital. There's a lot to do, but I'm sure you can handle it since you're young.
Huh? All I need to do is create a happy home with him and spend my days at home freely enjoying his money, right?
The director's wife doesn't have that kind of free time. Let me tell you about your future work.
What? Work?
First, there's the hospital's financial management system. Budget planning, staff scheduling, handling patient complaints, processing insurance claims. Oh, and planning hospital events, negotiating medical equipment purchases, managing drug inventory. Then there's maintaining important legal documents, and participation in community and business activities is crucial too. Since he's not good with administrative tasks, the new director's wife, Jessica, will have to do all of this. You're prepared, right?
What? Wait a minute, what's with this enormous workload?
What do you mean? This is the minimum workload for a director's wife. Until now, I've been doing all of this by myself. But from now on, it's the job of the new director's wife, Jessica.
What? There's no way one person can handle all this.
Excuses like I can't do it won't work. Even if you can't, you have to keep doing it. That's what being a director's wife means. Cost reduction is the most important thing for him as a director. Since marrying me, he's been constantly reducing staff, and all that work was dumped on me. It's been really busy every day until now.
You're kidding. I didn't hear anything about it being this busy.
As you wanted, private practice doctors earn quite well. Thanks to that, we've had a life without financial worries. But the director's wife doesn't have time to freely enjoy spending money.
This is totally different from what Tom told me. He said I wouldn't have to do anything, that I could just relax at home like his wife does.
So the thought of me like that until the end, even though I denied it many times.
Huh?
I've been working from home recently because I can concentrate better. But since he's at the hospital, he can't see how much work I do. And he misunderstood, thinking I'm just lounging around at home. Of course, I denied it many times, but he never believed me.
Do I really have to do all this by myself? What about Tom? I don't want such a busy job. Why don't you keep doing all the work like before?
Oh my, aren't I just a used-up old woman? As you wished, I have to disappear right away. There's no way someone like me would take on the work.
No way. Then Tom, the hospital, and all the work are up to you. I'll quickly divorce him and take it easy for a while.
Divorce? But what about your pregnancy? Weren't you going to make Tom happy?
I didn't know it would be this complicated. I just wanted a comfortable life with a rich doctor.
Life is rarely that simple, Jessica. Especially when you're dealing with someone like Tom.
What should I do? I can't handle all this work.
And that's for you to figure out. You wanted to be the director's wife, remember?
But you've been doing it all this time. Can't you help me?
I thought I was just a used-up old woman. Why would you want my help now?
I'm sorry, okay? I was wrong. Please, can't you give me some advice?
Advice? Here's some advice. Think very carefully about what you really want in life. Is this the future you envisioned for yourself?
No, it's not. I just wanted to be taken care of. I didn't want all this responsibility.
Well, now you know the reality of the situation. What are you going to do about it?
I don't know. I need to think.
That's probably a good idea. In the meantime, I suggest you have a long, honest conversation with Tom about expectations and responsibilities.
You're right, I will. Thank you, Sarah.
Good luck, Jessica. You're going to need it.
What's going on, Sarah? Suddenly Jessica is talking about marrying me, even though she's carrying my child.
Oh my. I wonder what happened. She was so happy about snatching you away from me.
She's saying she doesn't want to marry if I'm going to push so much work on her. I heard various things from Jessica, but were you really doing that much work?
Yes, I was. I should have explained it to you. The amount is too much for me alone, I said. But you ignored my words. No one else would do it, so I was just chasing the work in front of me day after day. But finally, I'm liberated from that hell.
I had no idea. Why didn't you tell me?
I did tell you, Tom, many times. You just never listened.
But I thought you were just complaining about small things. I didn't realize.
Of course you didn't. You were too busy with your affair to notice what was happening right under your nose.
Sarah,
Save it, Tom. It's too late for apologies now.
What do you mean?
The wife who was doing all that dumped work is gone due to divorce, and now the next wife is running away too. The hospital will be finished if you don't hire someone. You need at least 5 administrative staff, I think. That'll increase personnel cost.
You've got to be kidding. Do we really need to hire that many?
Of course, you being stingy would hate that idea. Then there's only one thing to do. You need to quickly persuade her and chase after her.
I have to chase after her.
She's pregnant with your child, right? If things stay like this, you'll end up paying child support without even getting married. Increased personnel cost and child support payments, it's going to be a big expense.
Wait. This is all happening too fast. I need to think.
Think? Now you want to think? Wasn't it your lack of thinking that got us into this mess in the first place?
I know, but... Sarah, what if the baby isn't mine?
What?
Hey, what if the baby in Jessica's belly isn't mine? Would you forget about the affair and continue managing the hospital's administration?
What are you talking about, Tom?
Actually, I'm not sure if the baby is mine. I was happy when I heard about the pregnancy, but thinking about it carefully, the timing seems off.
There's no possibility?
That's right. When I calculated back to the time of conception, it was during a really busy period. We had a lot of patients due to an infectious disease outbreak, and I hardly had any days off. I didn't even have any dates or sleepovers with Jessica during that time.
Oh my. That's an inconvenient story, but it has nothing to do with me. I'm going through with the divorce, and I have no intention of helping you with your hospital anymore.
But Sarah, please! I made a mistake! A huge mistake! Can we work this out?
Work this out? After everything that's happened? After you called me cheap labor? After you ignored all my hard work for years? I don't think so, Tom.
I know I've been terrible. I took you for granted. I didn't appreciate everything you did for me in the hospital. But I see it now. Please, give me another chance.
It's too late for that, Tom. You've made your bed. Now lie in it.
What am I supposed to do without you? The hospital will fall apart.
That's not my problem anymore. You should have thought about that before you started your affair.
Sarah, please. I'm begging you. Help me fix this mess.
Fix it yourself, Tom. I'm done cleaning up after you.
But...
Well then, I'll be taking my leave. I'll be sending the divorce papers and alimony claim through my lawyer soon. So please, respond promptly.
Sarah, wait!
Mrs. Director, Sarah, can we talk?
What is it now, Jessica? I thought I made it clear that I don't want anything to do with either of you anymore.
Please, I need your help. It's about the paternity test.
The paternity test? What about it?
Please, Mrs. Director, help me fake the paternity test results right now.
What? I once thought about giving up on my marriage to Tom, but I had a child in my belly and I knew it would be impossible to raise them alone. So I reluctantly went back to Tom. And do you know what he said? I'll forgive you for running away once, but first we need a DNA test. He's doubting my child. Oh my. Couldn't you just agree to the test? The fact that you're asking me to fake the results, I guess the child really isn't his.
Who cares about that? Just hurry up and help me fake the test results. You've been handling hospital paperwork all this time. You should be able to quickly prepare something that looks like a diagnosis or test result, right?
Don't be ridiculous. I want nothing to do with either of you.
If you cooperate, of course I'll reward you. I'll ask Tom to hire you back. Wouldn't that make you happy?
Happy? To go back to that toxic environment? You must be joking.
Divorced at your age and losing your job too, that's tough. It would be better if you at least had a job, right? I'll ask Tom to give you a nice salary. It helps me, and you'll have a job and financial stability. Let's cooperate, new wife and old wife.
You really don't understand, do you? I don't want to go back. I don't need Tom's money or his job.
But what will you do?
That's none of your concern. I can take care of myself.
Please, I'm begging you. Help me with this and I'll do anything you want.
Anything I want.
Yes, anything. Just name it.
You're right. This must be fate. So let's cooperate and be considerate of each other.
Really? Oh, thank you. I knew you'd understand.
What? I just sent a screenshot of this conversation to Tom. Desperately asking me to fake DNA test results should be enough evidence to deepen Tom's suspicions.
Oh, come on! What have you done?
Oh, and don't worry about me. I'm an old lady, but I can find my own job. A part-time gig isn't a big deal.
Don't do this to me. Tom's calling me nonstop now.
Well, I'll be going now. I'm a used-up old woman, so don't contact me ever again.
Wait, please, you can't leave me like this.
Goodbye, Jessica. I hope you've learned something from all this.
Sarah, can we talk, please?
What is it, Tom? I thought everything was settled with the divorce.
It's about the hospital. Things are not going well.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I don't see how that concerns me anymore.
The staff is quitting left and right. Patients are leaving. We're losing money fast. I need your help.
And why should I help you?
Because despite everything, I know you care about the hospital, about the patients. Please, Sarah, I'm not asking for myself. I'm asking for all the people who depend on our hospital. I know I don't deserve your help. I know I've been terrible to you. But please, if not for me, then for the sake of the hospital and its patients.
I'll think about it, but I'm not making any promises.
Thank you, Sarah. That's more than I deserve.
Yes, it is. Goodbye, Tom. Shortly after my divorce with Tom was finalized, and I filed for compensation from both of them, Tom agreed to pay several times the usual amount in a lump sum, on the condition that hospital management is all about image, so don't make this public. However, after that, Tom's affair was exposed. He and Jessica got into a huge fight. Jessica went around town shouting, "The director of this hospital is the worst. He took advantage of a college student and then abandoned her when she got pregnant." The rumors spread like wildfire, and the number of patients plummeted. Employees are quitting one after another, and there are rumors that the hospital will go bankrupt this month.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.